I was not a fan of this show. I was not a fan of this character. I'll go even further. I was not a fan of this character when it was even introduced in the comics. I didn't give a damn about this character at all. This was not terrible. This was not a train wreck.
Mm-mm.
But am I at the end stereotypical loose end lackluster finale? Yes. But cool stuff. Let's get into it. I think Dominique Thorne, I think she's a great actress. I'm a fan of her, fan of Ryan Coogler, all those things, right? But however, I was not blown away by her performance in Wakanda Forever, not because of her performance, more of her writing of the character. I just thought it was completely unnecessary. And one of my big flaws with Wakanda Forever was pertaining to her. I felt that character was completely unnecessary in that storyline. But with this show, because at the time it was about building content, and she was one of those shows to anchor content back in the paycheck days when she was announced to be playing this character. She already got her show before the movie came out. So now we are 2 years later.
That I was like, okay. I'm one of those people that did not hate the character of Riri Williams when she was introduced in the comics, though I do understand the flaws that people had, the problems people had with her, and her actual character flaws as well, not the stuff people will be making up online. But when it came to her appearance in Wakanda Forever, yeah, I also was on the fence of, like, oh, it could have been better. But going into this show and now having seen all 6 episodes, I can 100% say that this definitely has a much better story for Riri than Wakanda Forever did. Yes. However, yes, it is also a product of what Disney wanted Marvel to be at the time. And we definitely moved past that with the likes of X-Men 97 and Daredevil Born Again and the Punisher special coming next year, among a few other things that are coming down. It's just that Ironheart was, again, it was filmed 2 years ago, not long after Wakanda Forever came out, and it's sadly a product of that. I still think it is a very enjoyable show with some very enjoyable characters, a definite progression for Riri Williams, both how you feel about her as a character and just a whole bunch of other things. But again, it's still very much a product of that time, which is a time that we don't necessarily want to go back to in terms of Marvel.
Right.
But again, it's like, right. But again, it's like, but what it did right, I feel like it did right. The feeling of making Chicago feel like its own, spot different than the other places we've been in the MCU. The other characters like her mother, her friend / potential love interest, her best friend Natalie in the AI, or Zelma, her connection to Doctor Strange and the magic side of things. All of it felt like it had its own personality, including our villain Parker Robertson, the Hood. Could the rest of the characters in his gang benefit from better writing? Yes, but at least Parker Robertson, I can say, definitely felt like a very compelling villain. You understood his reasonings to being a villain. You understand his reasonings as to why he's doing things, why he made a deal with a certain somebody, and just everything going with him. And with Riri, especially going with her anxiety, it felt believable. It felt like, oh yeah, she's having a panic attack because she can't do the things right, and it makes sense why I think the show, if anything, one of its best accomplishments is making us understand why Riri Williams is the way she is. We don't got to agree with her all the time, but we definitely understand it's coming from a place of love, even if she messes up so many times.
Yeah, and I think the issue is the fact of, like, because also that she's not only just a woman, but also a woman of color, that it adds to another layer of, like, okay, it's unfortunate that she's not that very likable. It doesn't help, right? But then yet we're expressing certain criticism, then we can either get swapped on the umbrella. Oh yeah, you just hate black women and female characters, whatever. But then on the other end, it's like, hey, we see a constant trend with people of color getting a lot of backlash in terms of how they're represented on screen, especially between these superhero properties and stuff like that, right? But here again, I'm telling you, as somebody who did not have any faith in the show, I was watching for what it is. I thought this was, again, you felt the fingerprints of Ryan Coogler, like, okay, you're going down a direction where this could have gone so left. But yet with certain characters, obviously can be annoying. I felt that entire gang honestly was unnecessary characters, just stereotype after stereotype, whatever. It's whatever. I'm not even going to talk about certain communities that they represent, whatever, because for me, I felt you want to talk about representation. Yes, even though they changed a character from the comics to be a certain way, but just we take it a step back here, having someone from said community being there and not that being the focal point of just shoehorning, hey, I'm from this demographic, hey, I'm from this marginalized group, hey, I'm part of this group, whatever, that's underrepresented. That's not the story, right? They're just playing a role in the plot of the whole thing, right? And that's not it. So that's to me, I felt was very a positive for me, because especially amongst the Chicago, like you saw some violence there, and even though that's tied to the character's origin, in Chicago, but also you have the light side of Chicago as well, with the community, with people, with the aesthetic of it, the culture, black people walk and say, "What's up, black people?" That that's what we do, and especially in that community where that sense of family or that's such a strong foundation to the people who they are, right? But also how we handle trauma, it's going through many different ways. Riri is the her with her technology again. It's like, hey, why I built my iron suit? Because I could. No, because I need to protect us, whatever, after what happened to her stepdad and sister Natalie and everything, all that. Everything is just like she's projecting, she's suppressing her trauma by building an iron suit around it. Even though that she is a smart individual, but I felt this show did a better job in terms of making I accept Riri as a character within the MCU. However, is there things that she does that's stupid, and that is like, okay, why does she do that? Yes, even what she did at the end, which we'll get into, because amongst all the other characters. Speaking of this, what's the name? The young Han Solo, who's now a little bit older, played Zeke Stain, Obadiah Stain's son. I thought that was a great addition to the show that give you some sense of connection to Tony Stark, even though you don't have Robert Downey Jr., even though it's going to be here like in a year or two. But anyway, or possibly 2 weeks. Who knows? But
stay tuned for Fantastic Four First Steps. We'll get there.
Right, exactly. But aside from that, also the fact of having implications of technology with magic, and that hybrid of there. Like, I felt this was a natural, organic way of having the Iron Man legacy there. Now again, could they had Rhodey there? Yes. Do they need to have Rhodey? Honestly, after Secret Wars, they need to put him in a positive light in the MCU, because anyway, Pepper Potts, Gwyneth Paltrow, she's selling her her products and all that stuff, and everything, and scamming people. But yeah, and Happy, he's with Deadpool and Spider-Man, whatever. So whatever. But Jarvis, he's now Vision. Now he's White Vision. He's whitewashed. And now he's getting, his show later next year, so with Vision Quest. So a lot of stuff with Iron Man related stuff that could not be really involved with this character right now. But what they could have scrapped together, I felt this was a realistic. Okay, that makes sense. Obadiah Stain's son, yeah, that makes sense. That goes back to the very foundation of the MCU. But I thought he did a good job. I do believe he's a good actor and everything, but I felt like his dimension, like, hey, even after you save the day, you and me, we ain't done. Right now, I saw the seeds where we're going to Armor Wars, but what's happening right now with everything going on? Like, I don't see them ever expanding on this until the next 3 or 4 years. I don't see, like, and then at that point, do we even give a damn? No, like, it just. Like, even though you did just introduce a character we've been asking for like the last 3 or 4 years, but anyway, and then that adds another dimension, because we get Sacha Baron Cohen as who's the the person who brought the hood, but it wasn't Dormammu. And listen, Even though it's from the comics, I'm like, okay, he's like, oh wait, you set my expectations. Like, oh wait, please tell me it ain't Dormammu. Did we just do that mess in Doctor Strange, like with the freaking, purple, like
Nope.
yeah, it's like and then he's like, yeah, Mr. Dormammu. Like he's like, no.
He's like, no, I ain't Dormammu. You think Dormammu could have done this? No, like this is his thing, but I ain't Dormammu, okay?
Right. Now they did a very Lucifer way of it that I like, but they could have gone very extreme with him in the red and all that stuff and everything.
Yeah,
but,
no. Look, they're saving that for another time. But if just to say it to you guys, yes, it was Sacha Baron Cohen, and yes, he is playing exactly who he's been rumored to play for a very long time. Can I say the name? Are we allowed to say the name now?
Yes. Yeah.
Mephisto has finally appeared in the MCU.
And the show that only came out for like 2 weeks, and it's like it's what it is though. I've listened. First of all, and now after Vision Quest, I think how they're gonna formulate the MCU is gonna be very interesting to see what they're gonna do with shows and all that stuff, because they need to bring back to theatrical experience here. But I do see opportunity here. But the problem is now you have Riri. Apparently, she made a deal with Mephisto. Freaking idiot. And then I don't know what that I take at the end with that, because it's like, wait, what? It was very confusing what they did edit. I like the edit of the conversation and be like, I'm not making a deal with the devil. But then you made a deal with the devil and you learned nothing in this entire show. That's the thing. You learned nothing. You absolutely learned nothing from this entire show. And therefore, as a criticism for people like, what was the point of this show? What was the point?
Yeah, that's a real. See, this is an issue, and you know what? I should have realized that the moment we brought it in, because every single time, or at least most of the time, whenever you have a character make a deal with Mephisto, 9 times out of 10 they make it, and it undoes everything that they literally just went through. I mean, fuck, it's why people hate Spider-Man One More Day. It's because it's the same shit as that, or any other time that Mephisto has done it to other characters in the Marvel universe, which, look it up, it's happened a lot. But yeah, no, this is one of those situations I should have seen, because it was edited in a way, it's like, oh, she's thinking about what would happen if she did make the deal, but no, she did. Or I mean, we didn't see her shake his hand, but still, it's like, the fact of oh, there, and then now I'm like Parker. It's like, what was the point? You literally told him the whole magic he was going through with the hood and making the deal with Mephisto literally wasn't worth it. And yet, because the fact that you miss Natalie because the AI programming could not stay within the new suit along with the magic, you're like, screw everything I learned. I want Natalie back. And I understand that, but it's like, no,
you can make another one. You can make another one, because listen, if you were smart enough to find that, you were smart enough to find it, figure out a way at the end, or just accept of moving on.
Right? I think that was the thing. I think even though Nat was the Natalie program wasn't trying to go away, I think that was the moment for Riri to be like, okay, I've moved past this, at least in terms of Nat. I don't know what the whole stepdad part, but at least in terms of Nat, I've moved past it. I can grow from this. I can move forward. Or in the very least, maybe the Nat program could come back out of nowhere. Because again, her making Natalie was not intentional, but it still happened. And maybe that's the thing of why it couldn't come back, but still, it's like, it could have been a better option.
Right. And I'm trying to see, she's not even a hero. In this this is now, some people say this is a villain story, whatever. I don't agree with that, but I just this is a she's not a hero. She's not a hero. And I felt what was their plan with this character moving forward? Because in my head, I'm like, okay, you also have this road of Young Avengers or Champions, whatever they're gonna do with that, whatever. But it was okay, to have the mystical element involved in it, that will incorporate other characters like a Wiccan, like a Agatha, trying to bring back Wanda if she even is coming back or whatever, what I mean? But really, that, because the main story of any of this Young Avengers stuff is to Wanda, Wiccan, Agatha route that's the more popular version you got right now. Nobody give a damn about Kate Bishop. Nobody give a damn about the Stature, the Ant-Man's daughter. No, I love Miss Marvel, but Marvel's box office showed you it's whatever. Even though I love Miss Marvel. The other brother Speed, we'll see him, in a year or two. But Patriot, we don't even know the dude come back. He didn't came back for Brave New World. He's in fights at Disney parks and stuff. But anyway, but yeah, it just, I know, right? People can't just get in trouble, man. People just can't get out of trouble. Anyway, but I just say I felt at the end this is really, and I don't even think this was a Ryan issue. I think this was a MCU issue. Like, hey, ties up and loose end, we don't know, whatever. Because I'm like, where do you go from this? Like, where do you go? No. Like, Riri is screwed. She's and then now the Parker goes to the girl and like, wait, by the way, you not know that's the dude I told you about. Like, hey, this is guy named Parker, names this, and like, oh yeah, you walk up to my freaking store. I need some magic, and I'm gonna help you. Like, mom, get him out! Like, right now, intruder, the police.
Like,
what? I don't know.
Like police. Like, I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure you still got Camertage on speed dial. Call Wong or somebody.
Pull that shit out. Pull that dude out the freaking for a freaking store. Marvel Rivals that stuff. You start, you got 10 seconds before the match begins. Put this dude out the portal and get him alpha spawn.
Like literally get Wong off the freaking couch with Madison and get him over here to pick this dude up. It's like, oh, you dealt with magic with both Mephisto and Dormammu? Your ass going to jail.
Yeah, jail. Camertage is not a place for children. Okay, so American Chavez is just, anyway, I was about to make a very... I was about to make a very timely and inappropriate joke right now, and I'm not going to go there. I was about to say, if I'm saying that timing, man, I caught myself. Mm-hmm. But anyway, American Chavez, yeah, she's okay. I'm not gonna be going down that what joke I was about to make. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of loose ends here. I felt there was good stuff in here, but just as we wrap things up and stuff, I think the fact that the release schedule of 2 weeks, for me personally, I felt was positive. I can just get through this stuff, but yet you still have a little bit of window where I can go and go back to the days we were binging content, right? Now it's different from an Echo situation because I was bored. I checked out after 2 or 3 episodes. I was done. This, I was entertained, but was I? Mm-hmm. Now, later half, certain episodes, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is stupid. Like, okay, oh no, it's a hologram. Okay, that's all right, interesting. But
yeah,
I felt there were some things here that definitely need improvement, but really was more on what they had to offer, and really was not much. And that's all you just have to accept. This is just extra content. However, unlike, again, I said this, unlike Secret Invasion, unlike and Quantumania, She-Hulk, whatever, that set the universe back a little bit in terms of quality, I felt this was just interesting moments, but didn't set the universe back. I was like, I can take it or leave it, but I'm happy that we have this character in a better representation than what we had her in Wakanda Forever. That's it. And I like certain parts of it. Mephisto in it, yay. Now all the spoilers and stuff like that. I did like how how he looked. I did. It gives opportunity. Less is more. Play with camera. Play with voices. That was smart. Go back. Yes. Go to CW roots of Lucifer. Like, that's yes. But I want to see the red cape, and I want to see the demon. I want to see all that.
Yeah, but I think in terms of that, it's like as you said, less is more. But I think they're saving that. It's like, okay, we got him, we got an actor. We'll see how people respond to him, and then it's like we'll wait, and then it's like we'll bring him back again at some point and I think slowly and gradually give you the look you're looking for. Like, we'll get it. They're just waiting for the right moment. And I honestly, here was not the right moment for it. Here was to introduce him, but the right moment, we'll get that. Whether that be a Doctor Strange 3 or something like that, we'll see. But it'll definitely come. And hey,
yeah,
I gotta say, they did Mephisto right. They did Mephisto right.
Yeah, and he did say that he had other clients. I was like, that was perfect.
Yes. That
was perfect,
bro. Give us.
There's only one.
Give us Johnny Blaze.
Only one other client you have. like.
Give us Johnny Blaze. We know he exists. Whether Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still canon or not, we know he exists.
Right. That's like, yeah. That was cool. Yeah. That was again. Midnight Suns. I don't know, but like, there's a lot that can go after Secret Wars. But we just gotta wait a little bit. But after Secret Wars, then like I don't think, because I don't believe the reports that there's gonna be another MCU film like in between that, between Doomsday. Like I know there's untitled release dates, but I know they got moved, whatever. But all that out after, I'm just saying, like, okay, listen, go to Mystic. I want like a dark, storyline, Strange, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Blade. Come on. It's like, dude, I want a Halloween MCU film. Like, but a big epic,
Come on,
my birthday's in October, but I want that.
We need the man to wake. Look, we just got the man to wake up in Marvel Rivals. We need him to wake up on the big screen.
But yeah, aside from that, make sure you hit subscribe button, comment, like, and share. Let your thoughts on Ironheart. Did you like it? Oh, did you not like it? Whatever. Again, you won't be alone if you hated this show, because a lot of people on the internet do. A lot of people on the internet love this show. I'm in the middle. I thought that more on the liking the show. I did not have a bad time watching the show at all, really. Yeah, aside from that, make sure you subscribe button, comment, like, and share. July. Big month. We're here. Yes.
We're finally in July.
Yes. In the next 2 weeks, or actually next week. Just look up. Anyway.
Look up. See you guys, and then in like 3 or 2 weeks after that, go to the past with some First Family.
Yeah, the alternate universe. Yes. Collaborate time. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.